Hello everyone and welcome in lesson 11. So today we are studying two more consonants, mim and noon. So the first one, this one is mim, and it's pronounced as a regular M. And then noon, this one, noon, and it's pronounced as a regular N. So that's not a difficulty. So we're slowly completing the alphabet. We still have one letter left and some diacritics that we're going to study in the next lessons. There is nothing complicated about drawing the mim and the noon and about reading them and pronouncing them, but that's not the issue. However, there is some specific difficulties that we're going to see about them. So first, let's see the isolated form. So you see it's a rounded head plus a tail that's vertical. Then, because it's connected both on the right and on the left side, you can imagine what's happening. So the initial form has the head but loses the tail. The middle form is connected on both sides, and the ending form is finds its tail again and it's connected on the right. So this is not the issue. The issue is about ligature. Ligature is that it's a phenomenon that's extremely common in Arabic script. Letters would change their shape according to what letters they are next to. It's not compulsory except the lam alif that we studied already. So remember the lam and the alif, and when they connect, they change the shapes. The other ligatures are not compulsory, and not all the fonts would display them. So just to give you an example, I can't teach you obviously all the possible ligatures in Arabic. It's far beyond the scope of that introduction, but just to give you a hint so that you know what it is, and expect to have a lot of them for the mim especially. So this is the name of the Prophet, Muhammad, you can read it, mim, Dhamma, Muhammad. But, okay, I'll write it again, and I will change the font. So if I choose a font which is more traditional, which is more artistic, then you have lots of ligature. And you can see here that's the same word. The mim here has become a like dot above the ha. So this is exactly the two same words, Muhammad, once written without any ligature, and here written with some ligature. You can have more. Some fonts would have even more ligature, and the mim, ha, and the dal would make one glyph. So this is extremely common in Arabic in general, okay, but for the mim in particular. Let's select another word. For example, I'm going to switch first to the first font so that you have the shape that you know. So this is lamma. Here you have no ligature, just the lam, the mim, and the alif. And if I write it again, but now I change it to a font that has more traditional design, you will immediately see what's happening. So here the mim again has been completely collapsed into a small, like almost a dot, and this is very common. So you expect to find a lot of them, especially for the mim. So if you don't recognize the letter, like here you can recognize a lam, because in the initial position connected to the right, to the left, it can only be a lam, okay? It has to be a lam. It can't be an alif, because alif would not be connected on the left. So it has to be a lam. Then you recognize the alif because it has to be at the end and not connected, okay? But then what happens between the two here is a mim, okay? So expect to see a lot of them with a mim. For the noon, we also have some specific issues. So if I now write the noon, the isolated form is this one. It also connects on both right and left side. So you would see that the noon is like this. What is a bit puzzling is that it's the same initial and medium form as the ba, ta, tha, and the ya. So actually we have the isolated form is very different, and the final form, you have the tail here, which is there, but there is a lot of confusion that can happen between the ba, the ta, the tha. We saw already the ya, and now we have the nun, and that's the last one. When you see them in isolation, you usually don't mix them, but if you now switch to the connected forms, then you would find that they look pretty much alike. Like I'm creating this non-word, okay, and then you would say this would be ba, ta, tha, ya, na, and you see that the only difference between all of these, it's only one tooth. In Arabic we say a tooth. It's only one tooth each time, just the dots would change. Ba, ta, tha, ya, na, la. In the isolated form, like if I go to the final form, then the nun shows, and it's really different. But if it's middle or even beginning, then it's quite confusing. And a lot of reading mistakes happen between those 5 in particular. So we've focused on the first 3. It was our first lesson. So you should now really master them. Then we had this ya with this specific isolated form and final form, and the nun with this specific final form but the same initial and median form. So here lots of mistakes can happen. That there is no more difficulty for this lesson, except that the meme sometimes can collapse and like turn and change its shape with ligatures, and that the nun is yet another letter that looks like 4 letters that we've seen before. So be aware, and there is no real trick to distinguish them, except that you should except that the final forms are different. Okay, enough for the class. Now I've prepared some reading exercises to practice your new letters. Let's go. Mim, Muhammad, Malun, مولود, كمال, تمساح, ضمان, دمشق, دم, كلاما, رمم, قلم, نون, نام, نيران, ننسى, حنان, ذنب, عانى, منام, تنين, لسان, يظن, ممنون. So good work, good practice, good luck with those new letters, and see you in next lesson.